Welcome to Rustler Gymnasium. It is the second day of the Rustler Basketball Classic. CWC hosting the 14th ranked Western Nebraska Cougars, and the CWC men hosting Eddie Trinkle and the NJC Plainsmen in the final two games of the 8 games being played here this weekend. Earlier, the Lamar Lopes would get 2 wins over Northwest College. The Lamar ladies got an overtime win over Northwest, and the Lamar men hanging on to win 78-76 just a few moments ago. That looked like it was headed to overtime, but in fact not going to go overtime. But Lamar picks up 3 wins this weekend. Their men falling to CWC last night as their only loss as they'll head back to Southern Colorado. Western Nebraska defeated Northwest College for a second time this season. Did so yesterday by a big margin, 107-54. I do believe the final score of that. Central fell last night to Lamar by 10, 68-58. And now the two teams will mix it up here today as well. Let me get that out of there. I didn't realize we had an extra 100 things going on in the middle of that there, so I apologize for that. But talking all over ourselves on the radio portion of the broadcast. This is your pregame show on 88.1 Rustler Radio. Again, Western Nebraska coming in at 2-0 after having beaten Northwest College in their 2 previous games. They did so at home about a week ago, and they did so yesterday, like I said, to the tune of 107-54 yesterday, and they will take on Central Wyoming College. Joel Kindle with me, and Joel, it was a situation where last year they kind of played a similar schedule with Central, playing them at home, and then a week later playing them here, winning by 25-30 at their place, and then winning by 85 here the next week. And that's kind of what they did to Northwest in these last 2 games.
Well, I can almost hear you, but I'm guessing what you're talking about as I'm getting echo, 2 different things coming through and all that. But yeah, interesting scheduling. That's what you were talking about, to get them 2 games in a row at 2 different places of the same team. Of course, what you saw last year, I think, in some conferences in volleyball, you'd play not home and away, you'd play 2 back-to-back nights in conference play. I know the Big 12 is doing it this year, in fact. I believe the Mountain West did it last year, in fact, in volleyball as well. So as far as this game goes, I think you don't want to think about last year's what happened at all. And you got to come in here.
And there's not a whole lot of Rustlers that were on that roster. I guess maybe the saving grace of all that. Yeah,
but I'm sure they know what happened. I mean, you can't come out in awe against this team. You come out in awe, and you're probably going to be behind pretty fast and by a margin pretty soon. You know?
Coach Chad Gibney, in his 6th season there at Western, said he would like to see his team come out a little quicker. He said, I said, same starting 5, and he said, yes, but I'm not sure why. He said they have not come out and started like I would like to see them start in either game. They won handily, but it was not the quick start that he was hoping for. So we'll see how that transpires for Central. Lindsey Fearing, the head coach for the ladies of CWC, we'll have a pregame interview with her coming up next, but kind of a preview. I wouldn't say spoiler alert, but she talked about that the team finally came to play on all 4 cylinders, or all 6 cylinders, or whichever cylinders you want to go with, in that 4th quarter yesterday. But by then, maybe a little too late, down by 27 as they went into that.
Okay, maybe you are doing that. You're hitting on all cylinders at the end, but you're hitting on all these cylinders as the game is lost already.
Right. And she's mentioned that, where she would like to see them come out with that intensity at the beginning of the game, and she'll talk about that here in the pregame. Central will change up their starting lineup a little bit different today, as well as Elena Almeria is going to start in place of Callista New, so we'll talk about that. This is your pregame show on 88.1. Congratulations, by the way, to the Shoshone Wranglers, as they are 1A 9-man state football champions. First time since 1985 they pulled off that feat.
A game I broadcast, by the way.
Yep, back with the late, great Rich Berkhamshaw, I do believe.
On a very cold day, down at in Cheyenne. And I guess the thing about that was a game that I told you about before. We left our broadcast gear in a trunk, and it was extremely cold, and it was a rotary system, and it was frozen. We had to go to a discount store and buy a hairdryer to get our rotary to work before we could broadcast that ball game.
Harold Bailey and the Wranglers winning it at Oakey Blanchard Stadium over the Cheyenne Seton Gales, a school no longer there, but Congrats to Tony Trumpler and the Wranglers, a couple of my students getting down there and getting the privilege to broadcast that. Wyatt Barichka, Jackson Morris, and Riley Bouillon were there. Stay with us. Pregame show continues. Head coach Lindsey Fearing is next. This is Rustler Women's Basketball on 88.1. Get you some starting lineups as we get ready for the Rustlers and the 14th ranked Western Nebraska Cougars. Chad Gibney in his 6th season as the head coach. He will start like this. Number 4, a 5'5" freshman, headed to Clemson, South Carolina next year. Already committed. Number 4 is Elijah Douglas, and she's averaging right now 22 points a game in the first 2 games. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 steals per ball game.
And that's a somewhat local product, too, coming from Omaha, Nebraska.
Right, yes, absolutely. Number 10 is Imani Brown. She is a 5'7" sophomore, averaging 9 points out of Terre Haute, Indiana. Sean T. Henry, number 22, a 5'7" sophomore, averages 12 points out of Wichita, Kansas. Number 24 is Peyton Fields, a 6-foot freshman. She averages 9 points, 4 boards per ball game out of that old West Texas town of El Paso. And number 34 is Isabel Cook.
Thank you, Marty.
No problem. Marty Robbins, shout out there, tip of the hat. 34 is Isabel Cook, a 6-foot freshman, averaging 4 points a game from New Plymouth, New Zealand. And that is your starting lineup. Douglas, Brown, Henry, Fields, and Cook for head coach Chad Gibney in his 6th season as the head coach of the 14th ranked Western Nebraska Cougars. On the other side, CWC, they will start 4 of the same 5 they did last night. They'll have Chevelle Boyd. She wears number 2, the 5'6" freshman from Portland. Number 10 is Alex Terrazas, a 5'6" sophomore. And I recalculated stats last night, but Central's box score didn't make it in, so these stats are actually less than what they're actually at right now. Alex averaging 10 points, 2 rebounds per ball game. She also out of that old West Texas town of El Paso, Alex Terrazas. Number 11 from Riverton High School is a 5'10" sophomore, averaging, she had 12 rebounds last night, so she's still over the 12 rebound mark. The 5'10" sophomore is Alexis Motisi. Number 24, the leading scorer on the team, as Liv Knapp yesterday led him in scoring, a 5'6" freshman out of Hillsboro, Oregon. And then also getting the start tonight is number 34, Elena Almeria. And Elena is out of Spain. She is a 5'11" freshman, stepping into the lineup for Callista New, who has been put to the first off the bench category for head coach Lindsey Fearing in her 4th season, assisted by Javaris Bellamy, his 2nd year as the assistant for CWC. Once again, the Cougars will be dressed in their road yellow gold uniforms, dark blue numbers, and gold yellow, kind of I guess maybe a whiter trim. And Central will be wearing their gray uniforms today with orange numbers and black trim. Central will start going right to left as we are high atop Rustler Gymnasium, awaiting the starting lineups from our PA announcer, Steve Barlow. I thought maybe we'd see a national anthem, but I think being the 3rd game of the day, I don't think we are going to see.
Plus, you're behind schedule as well.
Yeah, this game was to start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's already 3:30 by the time that we get this one tipped off. Western Nebraska already clapping. They're going to just get introduced here to start out with. Imani Brown. Sean T. Henry, number 22. Isabel Cook being introduced. And they're kind of all over the place announcing. The girls really didn't know where they were coming out there as well. Elijah Douglas going to play with a mask today as well. She did not play with the mask that I noticed yesterday, as she put up pretty good numbers. And again, she will be headed to Clemson next year. 5 or 6 others, coach saying, on the list of moving on as well. You know, noticeably absent from this roster is the would-be sophomore Kai Buell from Cheyenne East High School. She was a freshman last year. She has moved on to a Division II in Colorado. So,
do you remember which one that is? Or?
I went to clarify, and something happened, and the coach didn't get back to me, and I didn't go research it. So, no, I do not know, unfortunately, where Kai Buell is. A D2 in Colorado, though, is where I am told she is at. So, again, congratulations to Shoshone. They win the 1A 9-man state championship. They knocked down Rocky Mountain 19-6. The 4A title game, Rock Springs and Sheridan, will get underway in about 30 minutes from right now. Motisi will step into the midcourt circle for the Rustlers and will do so against Isabel Cook.
And to talk about the state championships, every team that won the first matchup of of those 4 matchups won the second time as well.
And all of the home teams so far that have been designated home at War Memorial as well. Motisi won the tap, but Amani Brown actually ends up down with it. She'll give it ball to Douglas, D'd up by Boyd. The Clemson future Tiger shovels it with a left hand across court to Henry. Back up top to Brown. She'll work on Terrazas, 15-foot line back to Douglas. Shot clock down to 10. Boy, really overplaying that left hand, and a quick hand check on Chevelle Boyd at the 8-second mark of the shot clock. We'll give him back to 20, and it'll be number 1 on Central, number 1 on Chevelle Boyd.
Obviously, Clemson must really like her. She's only 5'5".
Might have traveled to take off with that as she'll go down the right side. That ball, boy, Almeria went down. That ball hit the side of the backboard, picked up by Motisi. Central, their first opportunity at it. Terrazas back to Boyd. Up top to Alex. Now to Knapp. Livia Knapp, to call her Liv. Ball high over her head at the top. 12 to shoot now for Terrazas. She'll drive down the lane. A right-hand scoop is no good, but she's fouled by Brown, I believe. Await the official indication, and I was way off. They'll go, I believe, now on Peyton Fields. They will. First personal, and Alex Terrazas to the line. I'm going to go see if the information has been updated as Terrazas at the line. Free throw is good. 1-0 Central. Central 75% free throw shooting team. Numbers have been updated, by the way, and I'll get you those as Terrazas makes both. Central with a 2-0 advantage on a pair of free throws. Douglas. Again, they really overplay that left hand on her, does Boyd. Three-pointer, high arcer, good by Henry. Very short-lived first lead by Central. And here comes the full-court pressure. And here comes the first turnover. 15-footer missing. Terrazas will get the rebound. She'll be trapped in the corner. They will get away from the trap. 3-on-2. Boyd's going to peel it out, and they'll reset. Had just 9 turnovers by the stats yesterday for Central. They need that kind of number again today. As Boyd for 3. That one's no good. She's knocked to the floor. Rebound comes into the hands of Peyton Fields. Fields to Douglas. Quick first step down the lane. Right hand off glass. No good. Motisi another rebound. 3-2 Western Nebraska. We're 2 minutes old on the Pepsi scoreboard. Terrazas scoops it to Motisi. She'll fire it up off the left side of the glass. Miss it. Got her own rebound. Fires it up. That's no good. And the rebound finally brought down by Isabel Cook. And here comes Western Nebraska back on the attack.
Those 2 shots. She came up short on the first one, long on the second.
Douglas runs past Boyd and puts it over the top of the rim and in. 5-2 Cougars. Motisi keeps it on a bounce. They'll break the press, and then she'll throw it away after they broke the press. Second turnover of the game on that press by Central.
We saw that happen last year, remember, where they were so pleased sometimes when the press was on, then they, in the half court, they would, boot it.
Yeah, you get so amped up as there's a foul on Liv Knapp running with Amani Brown, who was kind of out of control, and they'll bail her out and they'll give the foul to Liv Knapp. That'll be her first, team second. And that is going to put Amani Brown at the line. Callista New going to check in for Alexis Motisi. Western Nebraska, 73% free throw shooters. Not great three-point shooters, though. 28% on the season, as that first one is up and good by Brown. 4-point lead now, 6-2. Our first sub for the Cougars, as well as Ashley Panham, is going to check in after this free throw for Coach Gibney. 7-2 Western Nebraska out in front. Very early in this ball game. Peyton Fields out. We've played 2.5 on the Pepsi scoreboard. Full court pressure. Turnover number 3 as Central throws it away at midcourt right into the hands of Peyton Fields. Brown to Douglas. Douglas, nice quick hands by Terrazas, knocks it off of Douglas's hands, and she gets the turnover. Good quick hands by Alex.
Interesting too, you're forced to stack your inbounds play in the backcourt. You don't see that a lot.
Liv trying to find an inbound, gets it to New. Callista's gonna run through traffic. She'll bounce it and throw it away again as the fourth turnover already in the first 3 minutes of the ball game by Central. Brown floating over Knapp, missed it, New the rebound. Callista off the bench, left side, Boyd. She'll go baseline, runs into traffic and loses the handle, and going to be back-to-back turnovers. Turnover on Central, but then falling down was Cook. They'll call her for the travel, and they'll give the basketball right back to Central. Cheyenne Perot will check in for Western Nebraska. Perot, by the way, a 5'8" freshman. And then also into the game is Matrice Brooks, a 5'7" freshman. I think Perot's got to be taller than 5'8". Looking at her, there's a nice little right-hand scoop by Terrazas, no good. Rebound by Brooks. And here comes Western Nebraska. Douglas, quick first step, runs right past and puts it up with the left hand on the right-hand side as she ran right past Alex Terrazas, and it's a 7-point advantage for Western Nebraska. Knapp, 15-foot straight, good, actually kind of on the left side corner as she knocks that one down.
A tough shot as she had to, kind of pop on the run there.
Baseline, air mail, actually it hits the side of the backboard, and Terrazas will glove the rebound. 9-4 the score. 6:04 left on the first quarter. Pepsi scoreboard. Western Nebraska, 14th ranked team in the country, out in front of the Rustlers. Boyd back to Terrazas for three on the way. Not good. Cook the rebound. Underneath. Gonna have a blocking foul called on Callista New as she tried to beat her to the spot and does not. And that'll be number 1 on Callista. Number 3 on Central. Central early shooting 1 of 6 with 5 turnovers and 17%. Western Nebraska 3 of 8 right now. They have 2 turnovers. Motisi comes back into the Rustler lineup. Also in is Rashawn Smith. She is a 6'4" sophomore out of Auckland, New Zealand. Free throw is no good for Panam. First miss of the day from the line for Western Nebraska. Second one, nothing but net. You heard it through your hoop mics. We need a sponsor for that. Central will get the pressure broke. Motisi with a left hand. They get transition bucket. Best they've handled that press in about the last 5 quarters against Western Nebraska, quite honestly. 3 the other way and drain it. Nice shot by Amani Brown. She has 5. The lead is 7. Full court pressure, man-to-man, as Knapp's going to run it across. Gives it to Boyd. Chevelle out back to Liv. Penetrates, rise for 15, rolls out, rebound by Brooks. Back the other way, baseline with it. Panam loses it, has it knocked out of her hands, out of bounds. It'll stay Cougar basketball as Terrazas back in. And we'll get a timeout on the floor. 4:58 left to play, first quarter. It is Western Nebraska 13. It is Central 6. We'll be back after this timeout on 88.1. 13-6 Cougars. They have the basketball. They inbound. Brown down low. Turnaround 6 by Smith. No good. Terrazas the board. Well, that's what you want, I guess. If you're Coach Gibney, that's a pretty good execution of getting it to the low block. Just couldn't convert. And there's a steal by Brooks. Brooks will take it the distance, lay it up and in. Patrice Brooks off the bench. 2 boards, 2 points, and a steal now. And it's a 9-point Western Nebraska advantage. Knapp working on Brown to New. Motisi way outside. Runs past Perot, but then pulls it back out. Alex thought about a three-pointer, does not pull the trigger on it. Instead gives up the dribble in front of the Nebraska bench and almost turns it over as Callista New going to drive the lane. Pickpocketed by Brooks, taken away by Western Nebraska. 1-on-2. Brooks going to go the distance, and they'll be fouled by Almeria. Patrice Brooks will go to the line as Elena Almeria will get her first personal. Going to see Mimi Bolden check in for the first time. Chevelle Boyd back in. Douglas back in for Coach Gibney. Also Cook back in. And looking also is Peyton Fields back in as Brooks and Perot stay on the floor for the Cougars. Looking for their first double-digit lead of the ball game, and that one is good. Second one is good, and that'll be a substitution. As Brooks will come out, back in is Shanti Henry. Patrice Brooks with 4 quick points, an 11-point lead. Full court pressure again by the Cougars. Boyd dribbling through traffic is going to be fouled as she split the difference on a den of Cougars. It'll either be Perot or Henry, and they're going to go on Henry, her first. Team second on the Cougars. Again, college women's basketball, different than college men's basketball. They play 4 quarters. They play to 5 fouls, and then it's 2 free throws. There are no one-on-ones in women's basketball anymore. Bolden spots in from 15. Missed it. Motisi, though, the rebound. Already 4 rebounds for Motisi, averaging just under 14. Central's going to turn it over again. Douglas the distance, and an offensive foul on Alasia Douglas. Taking the charge was Chevelle Boyd.
I think so. I think they ruled it the other way.
How did that happen?
I saw the official down here. You show the block call. Like you maybe looked at a different official, or and one overruled the other, perhaps.
I'm going to go to the instant replay and watch. Oh, he pointed down to where the play was, not pointing the other direction as I see. So I will correct myself. Give the foul to Boyd, which is her second, by the way. And then Douglas makes both free throws. And it's a 13-point lead, 19-6, with 3:33 left to play first quarter on the Pepsi scoreboard. Bolden, and a foul away from the basketball. 2 officials saw it. They both blew their whistle. And the far side is going to give the foul to number 4, which is Douglas. That'll be her first third-team foul. I think Ivana Bajic will check into the Central lineup on the next dead ball. Terrazas going down the lane is knocked to the floor and fouled. Guilty party, I think, is going to be Douglas again and pick up her second. And that is the case. Ivana Bajic checks into the ball game for Central. Ivana, a 5'10 freshman from Serbia. Going to see Amani Brown check back into the lineup for the Cougars. Central going to pull everybody out of the rebounding lanes, and because it's not a shooting foul, apparently. That is not why they had everybody out of the lanes, but they do not call that she was shooting. So they'll inbound it. Liv Knapp to do it under the basket and to the left to Motisi. Terrazas back to Knapp. Liv steps back. 18-footer at the top is no good, and Brown gets the rebound. They shot a lot of threes yesterday. Shot from 16, no good. Knapp gets the rebound. Tipped by Motisi right into her hands.
Are you saying Northwestern Nebraska shot a lot of threes?
Central shot 33 yesterday as Terrazas from 15, left side baseline. Much needed bucket right there by Central as
wide open on the other way, they throw a half-court pass.
Yeah, that is going to be an Isabel Cook bucket right there, and we're going to get a timeout as Coach explaining exactly why that shouldn't happen on the other side. Central trailed 10-6, and then it was 19-6 before they scored again, a 9-0 run by Western Nebraska, and then they come back quickly with an easy bucket by Isabel Cook, and it's 21-8 with 2:26 left. And again, I thank the services of the CWC Math Instruction Department, Kate Patterson, for helping us out with the score sheet to be able to find you cool stats like that, since you've got too many other stats going on for you to keep track of those. So
too many roof hitters in basketball, I hope.
Thanks to Fremont Beverages Pepsi for supporting CWC Athletics. The CWC Pepsi scoreboard, 21-8, 2:26 left first quarter. Western Nebraska out in front. Full court pressure again. And they'll bring it back over and finally get it across there. Motisi at the 15-foot line. Might have switched pivot feet there as Terrazas three is no good. Rebound and a foul on the other side. Going to the ground is Brown. Cook got that rebound, her third. And Central will put Western Nebraska back to the line once again. They're 7 of 8 already in the first 8 minutes of this ball game and lead 21-8. To the line, Amani Brown. Free throw, good. 8 of 9. Again, Western Nebraska, 73%. I mentioned not great from three-point line. Douglas 1 for 6, Brown 1 for 7, Henry 2 for 9, Perot at 6 of 8. Their best three-point shooter so far as Amani Brown makes both. By the way, Kai Buell, I believe, is at Western Colorado. Is that in Gunnison?
I believe so.
Sophomore.
Sheridan basketball standout Devin Royer went there many moons ago.
June 4th, she decided to go to Western as Liv Knapp goes unevaded to the rack and misses it. And Cook with her 4th rebound of the basketball game. 3 high arcer in the corner, no good, but that's a long rebound that she will get herself, Henry will, after she
almost at midcourt, in fact.
Missed the high arcing 3. Brown driving left side, hooks it to the outside, back up top, one extra pass for Perot for 3 is good. About 7 of 9 from three-point land for Cheyenne Perot. 18-point advantage now, 26-8. Western Nebraska. We still have a minute left in this first quarter of play. Give and go. Motisi slapped in the face. She'll go to the line. Good dish by Liv Knapp.
And Alexis looking more for the basket today than she was in last night's game.
Cook will pick up her first personal. Central, by the way, 75% free throw shooters. Lexi will get the first. That'll help raise that 40-something average she's got. 3 points, 4 rebounds for Motisi here in the first 7 minutes of the basketball game. Second one, no good. And the rebound picked up off the floor by Western Nebraska. Perot scoots it to the outside. Three-pointer on the way is nothing but net by Shanti Henry. 20-point Western Nebraska advantage got just under a minute left in this first quarter. They have come out firing on all 5 cylinders here as Coach Gibney was a little distraught with how his team had started the last 2 games, as Terrazas will fire a 3. That's a good answer.
Yeah, that's pretty good defense on her that time as well, as she made that 3.
Shot clock put to bed for the first quarter. 29-12. Perot guarded by Bolden, way out there, just kind of killing some time, and still keeps it on a bounce. Hands it back to Panam. She'll go down the lane. She'll be running into Almeria, and that'll be an offensive foul, I think.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, last time I was pretty sure of it. And foul is on Cook, her second. 3rd turnover of the game on NJC, and we're going to see MJ Sarkodie Adu come into the ball game. MJ is out of London, England. She's a 6'2" senior. Coach Gibney talking to the official. Nope. 4.4 seconds.
And we've got the old conversation of call it both ways, which has never been said before, I don't believe.
Sarkodie Adu finally getting able to enter the ball game. Roll it to Terrazas at the free throw line. Liv's going to get a shot away. 3 on the way. In and out and stays out as that one halfway down comes all the way out. We've played 1 quarter of basketball, and it's all 14th ranked Western Nebraska. At the end of the first 10 minutes, it's the Cougars 29, it's the Rustlers 12, and we'll be back after this break. This is Rustler Basketball on 88.1. First quarter shooting, Central 4 of 15 with 8 turnovers. That's 27%, 1 of 5 from the arc. Western Nebraska 8 of 16, 3 turnovers, 4 of 5 from the arc. She traveled, she'd think late whistle, but they got Knapp on the travel. That'll be number 9 on Central in the turnover category. Central 3 of 4 from the line, 9 of 10 the Cougars from the free throw line. 17-point advantage for the 2-0 14th ranked team in all of NJCAA. Perot scoots it in the corner. Panam back up top. Brown for 3, good.
The team has some shooters.
Yeah, second 3-pointer of the game for Amani Brown. And I was talking about they hadn't particularly shot the 3 very well in their first 2 games, but making a fibber out of me now. 5 of 6, 83%. Baseline, Bolden, Motisi from 16, airmails it out of bounds, and it will go back to Western Nebraska.
First 20-point lead of the contest at 32-12 on our Pepsi scoreboard.
They had matched that at 29-9 previously.
I
just had to look at my new scoring tool I've got to, not to try to contradict you or anything, but I just wanted to see if it had it, and it did. Perot, right side Shot is no good. Bolden will pick up the rebound. Malia, they call her Mimi. Hands it back to Knapp. Knapp out of Hillsboro, Oregon. Freshman, leading scorer for this team. They'll throw it away. Two players kind of were headed that direction, and neither one ended up going there, and Brown picks it up. Little hip check, and they'll call it travel. Wow. Brown ran right into Almeria there in the middle of the paint. They'll call it for a travel. Douglas got those 2 personal fouls quickly. She has come back into the ball game. Peyton Fields back in for Coach Gibney, as well as Isabel Cook checking back in for Sarkodia Adu. And again, Central gonna battle to get this one across half court. 10 on 10, Terrazas and Brown, and Terrazas that little
against the grain dribble.
Zigzag to get some contact as they come across the timeline. Terrazas keeps it on a bounce, steps back for 15, missed it. Battling it out of bounds is going to be Peyton Fields. She can't control it, and Central will get back the basketball. 8:08 left, 32-12. As Joel mentioned, tying for the biggest margin of the ball game at 20. Terrazas long 3, front of the iron, no good. Peyton Fields the rebound. Central 1 of 6 from the arc. Douglas to Brown. She'll fire another one. That one's just off the mark and out of bounds, and it stays Western Nebraska basketball. Amani missing that one, but has been deadly on a couple of others. Inside of 8 left to play, first half on the Pepsi scoreboard. Panam has it, Motisi defending her, now Douglas. Bolden makes her go with the right hand. She'll say okay, and she'll miss the 10-footer, and it's rebounded by Motisi. Terrazas stops, bounce to Motisi, float for 8, glass, good. Good pass by Terrazas to make the shooter there as Motisi puts it in. She has 3 with 5 rebounds, 3 on the way the other way. Fields is good. 6 of 8 from the arc, the visitors. And a 21-point lead now, their biggest. Terrazas made a nice little step through, but can't convert it, and Cook the rebound. Panam back out, another 3-ball on the way, rims out. Rebound by Cook, and she'll be fouled. Callista New will check in after this. Central foul, I think, on Motisi. Her first. It is on Alexis. First team foul of the quarter. Alexis will check out. We're going to see the other Riverton product in. Anna Hutchison going to check in for Central. Anna, the 5'10 freshman, scored 3 points and had 7 rebounds in the huge win over California Christian in the second game of the season. Free throw number 1 is good by Cook. 22-point advantage now with just under 7 to play. First half. Second one, no good. Almeria the rebound. Elena hands it back to Cook. To Knapp. Liv gives up her dribble, finds New. Hutchison getting a touch of the offense. Terrazas back to Knapp. 3. She gets knocked to the floor by Douglas. And that'll be 3 by Alasia Douglas. Third personal foul there, and Coach Gibney looks to the bench, and he's going to bring in a couple. Yada Garcia will be one of those. Yada, a 5'8 freshman from Scotts Bluff. They're in the hometown of the Cougars.
In the old cartoon series, Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I'm wondering where this is going already, but
they are befriended by 2 moon men, Gibney and Cloyd. So there's our seg there.
Yes, was that seg?
It was eventually it was.
Liv gets 2. She'll have another. 4 points for Liv Knapp. Cuts it back to 20, unfortunately. She'll get all 3. Got a three-pointer the hard way. 6.5 remaining in the second quarter. Knapp playing defense on Perot, who runs past her, misses it, got her own rebound. Goes baseline. They will reset their offense. Panam underneath. Garcia, that one's no good, but she's fouled, I believe, by Almeria. Elena, I think, the guilty party. That is her second personal foul, second team foul, and more free throws coming. Yada Garcia at the line. Free throw by Yada is good. She'll have another. 11 of 13. They're shooting very well. 6 of 9 from the arc, 11 of 13 from the line, 10 of 13 overall. Garcia knew that was in. As soon as she let it go, she'd already turned around to shake hands with her fellow players. Inbound to Hutchison. Anna gives it back to Terrazas. She'll go one-on-one with Shanti Henry. 6 left in the second. Central down 21. Handed back to Knapp. Garcia defending her. New got kind of knocked down on that pick. Took away one of the options, and then fighting through the pick is going to be Shanti Henry, and she'll get called for the foul on Western Nebraska. Second personal on Henry. Central will get the clock set back to 20 with 5:51 left. Amani Brown back into the game for Shanti Henry. Knapp to Terrazas to New. Callista, right-hand scoop, no good. And the rebound by Peyton Fields. They'll throw it out way too far in front of the crowd, and they'll just turn it over. 5 turnovers on Western Nebraska as they come down the floor. Threw it out in front of the fast break, and Central's going to stack them 4 deep at the three-point line. Trying to break this press. They've done much better as of late, but the first 4 or 5 possessions ended up in turnovers, I do believe. Knapp again. Steps, nice move, got Garcia to fall down, but can't convert it. And the rebound by Peyton Fields, and Western Nebraska back on the attack the other way midway through the second quarter. Driving down underneath, Garcia kicks it back up top. Peyton Fields for 3 is good. She got knocked to the floor. Fields has 6 points on 2 3-pointers, and it's a 24-point advantage. 41-17. Knapp steps into an 18-footer, comes up short. Rebound by Fields.
And no Rustlers underneath to rebound that one.
Hadn't really been in the offensive set very long, and now you're back on defense. Garcia to Perot. Shakes and bakes and is fouled from behind on the floor on the way there by Terrazas. And Alex will pick up her first. Callista New out, Alexis Motisi in. Mimi Bolden back in. Gonna see Brianna Fowler check in for the first time for Western Nebraska. 5'8" freshman from Berthoud, Colorado. Stop in play, stop in the broadcast. 4:28 left first half on the Pepsi scoreboard. Western Nebraska 41, Central 17 back after this. Thanks to our new media broadcast crew, who is largely absent today with other things going on, but Amanda Nikoloff, our new media advisor. Nevada Bursey is our camera person high atop the gym with us here as Rashawn Smith is back into the ball game. Also, Brianna Fowler. Fowler has it. Lefty for three is going to be short. Rebound into the hands of Liv Knapp. One of the rare threes they've missed and a travel violation. We'll give it back to Western Nebraska. So CWC had 9 turnovers in the loss to Nomar by 10 yesterday. I had them at 11 turnovers. Official, quote, unofficial scoring had them at 9. And they've already got 11 here in this first 16 minutes of the basketball game here against a much different opponent, obviously, as Brown's shot is no good. Motisi will get the rebound as she's knocked to the floor and fouled. 6 boards for Lexi. Foul on Fields is number 2. And we'll see Panam back into the contest for the Cougars. Knapp in the backcourt. Brown on her. She'll go around the back and bring it across the timeline. Scoots it right side. Hutchison gets a pick. Try to go back down up top. They don't. Bolden. Now Knapp. Now Motisi. Back to Knapp. Steps for 17 off the mark. Hutchison the rebound. That's no good, but she's fouled. Good offensive rebound by Anna Hutchison, and she will go to the line to score some points on the home floor. Clearing out, they'll call Rashawn Smith for the foul. She will check out, and that will bring Isabel Cook back into the ball game. Anna knocks down the first. She'll have another. Second one by Hutch is good. First 2 points on the home floor for Anna Hutchison. Central still down by 22, however, with 3:25 left. Panam working on Terrazas. Now Brown. Amani penetrates, and she'll be fouled and score it. Motisi got in front of her, but I don't know if Alexis was falling down when she got there. Foul's going to be on Terrazas. That'll be number 3 on Alex, and get an ill-afforded ball handler in foul trouble for Central at this point right now.
Especially a point guard against a team that presses as much as Western does.
Brown will get the and 1. 12 points for Amani Brown. She averages 9 a game from Terre Haute, Indiana. Looking for 13. Free throw on the way is short. Bolden the rebound. They're going to call a lane violation on that, so scratch it all off and give her another opportunity at it. Almeria will check in. Also going to see Gannett Mabratu into the game. She is from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, a 5'6" sophomore. Gannett is.
From South Detroit then, eh?
Born and raised in South Detroit. So second opportunity good for Brown as she gets the second chance, and it's back to a 25-point advantage, 3:15 remaining in the first half on the Pepsi scoreboard. Knapp fires from 15, no good. Almeria had the rebound, lost it. It'll go out of bounds. It'll stay Central ball. Knapp to Motisi, up top to Hutchison. They'll just throw it out of bounds. And that'll be turnover number 12 on the Rustlers. Brown throws it away. I'm not sure even where she was going with that as she hooked it back up top, and Liv Knapp was the only one there. Liv will go right side, no good. Lexi had it, lost it. Oh, they're going to keep it. Central basketball. So it'll stay C-Dub ball, 2:40 left. Knapp will find Bolden. She'll fire a three out of the side. It'll almost wedge, and it's taken away by Amani Brown. 25-point lead, 2.5 left. Perot playing defense. Knapp with her. She'll throw it over the head of a charging in Cook, and that'll be turnover number 7 on Western Nebraska.
Brianna Fowler checking back into the contest for the Scottsbluff 5.
Knapp knifing through a couple of players, scores, but they'll wave it off. As she thought she had the and one, but not the case. She will get free throws out of it, as that is they put them in the bonus. Well, now will they give it to her? So she made, oh no, she gets free throws. It's 2 free throws because it was on the ground, sorry. Liv gets the first. Six points for Knapp, now 7. 44-21. Hutchison will come out. Nope, I stand corrected. It's Western Nebraska will be bringing people in. Rashawn Smith back in for the Cougars.
It would be a smart move though if you subbed in and convinced some other team to check out. That would be quite clever.
6 on 4. Oh, that's a violation there. As Perot was going to throw it, then decided not to, and ends up with the carry, so to speak. And they'll turn it back over. Shot from 17, no good, and a foul called. Foul is on Ashley Panum.
She was blocking out. She was kind of pushing back and undercutting Motisi there.
Lexus will go to the line. She's 1 of 2. Subs again for Coach Gibney. Cook will be back in. Under 2 minutes left to play in the first half. 44-21 Cougars. First of our doubleheader coverage. The men's team will take on Eddie Trinkle's NJC Plainsman coming up here in just a little bit. Eddie Trinkle and been coached there since 2006. His daughter Faith is on the NJCAA volleyball team that'll be in the national championships. Lexi gets the second. She's got 4 to go along with 8 rebounds already. They've been doubled up, though, 44-22, minute 45 left to play in the first half on the Pepsi scoreboard. Down low, Smith. She'll make room and travel with the basketball, and the turnover will be turnover number 9 on Western Nebraska. Shuffle their feet, trying to make some space in there. Hutchison gives it back to Knapp.
And the press has been unratcheted just a bit here in the second quarter.
90 seconds left. Knapp, quick first move, got shut off there. Hutchison standing on the three-point line, doesn't shoot it. Bolden will deep in the corner. That one's not going to fly, and Garcia will come away with the Western Nebraska rebound. Garcia hands it back off to Perot. She'll battle the dribble a bit. Finds Brown on Hutchison. Penetrate. Good defense by Hutchison, and a rebound by Motisi. Good defense by Anna. Didn't bite on that little step fake. Came back to contest the shot. There's a reach foul on Perot. That is her first personal foul. Central back to the line. Central 11 of 13 from the free throw line here in the first half.
Also, we're going to the free throw line. It slows down the pace of the game, which I think is to their advantage a bit.
And Knapp continues to snap nylon. 6 of 6 from the charity stripe is Liv Knapp. Came in at an 89% free throw shooter on the season. Second is good. 7 for 7. She has 9 points inside of a minute left to play in the first half. Fields spins, goes back in off glass. Knapp's going to run down the rebound at the 15-foot line. She'll take it all the way and miss it. And the rebound there by Perot. And then quickly back up ahead, Garcia is open for a layup on the left side. Boy, that was a quick transition, 4-point swing essentially. Knapp, little sidestep, 18, missed it. Hutchison, the rebound though. She'll give it back to Knapp. That ball is not good. And Garcia snares that rebound to bring it back down the other direction for Western Nebraska. 5 seconds left. Perot for 3. That's an air ball. Out of bounds with less than a second to play in the half. 46-24 is where this half will end unless they can tip in something from 94 feet. And they can't, and that's how the first half will come to an end. At the end of the first half of basketball on the Pepsi scoreboard, it is 14th ranked Western Nebraska 46, Central 24. Stay with us. Your halftime show comes up after this. This is Rustler basketball on 88.1. At the half on the Pepsi scoreboard, it is 14th ranked Western Nebraska 46. It is Central Wyoming 24. And how they got this way, Western Nebraska scored 32 in the first quarter, posted themselves a 20-point advantage, 32-12 in the first quarter. They outscored Central 14-12 in the second quarter. and actually extended that 20-point lead. And 22 is where it stands right now at 46-24. Leading the way scoring for Central, Alex Terrazas has 9. She also has 3 rebounds. She also has 3 fouls in the ball game. 9 points also for Liv Knapp. 7 for 7 from the free throw line in the first half for Liv. She also has 3 rebounds. Alexis Motisi, 4 points. I have her unofficially right now at 9 rebounds. Anna Hutchison, 2 points, 2 rebounds, going 2 for 2 from the free throw line. First half, Central would hit 13 of 15 free throws. They got out rebounded by 1 unofficially, 23-22. For Western Nebraska, Amani Brown, 13 points, perfect 5 for 5 from the line. She also has 2 3-pointers, does Amani. Alasia Douglas has been in foul trouble, and she has 3 personal fouls. She has 6 points in the first half, as does Sean T. Henry on a pair of threes. Peyton Fields has a couple of triples. She has 6 points, 5 rebounds. Isabel Cook, 3 points, 6 rebounds in the basketball game right now. Yada Garcia, Matrice Brooks, each with 4. Perot and Cook with 3. Panam with 1. 2 lead changes in the contest as Central led early 2-0. Then Western Nebraska took back the lead and have never relinquished it at that point as they lead right now at the break, 46-24 at the half. We'll check turnovers and shooting percentage. We'll also talk some cross country, and we'll also look at the men's game coming up with NJC here in just a bit. This is Rustler basketball. The ladies trailing 46-24 at the break on 88.1. (46-24), Western Nebraska out in front of your CWC ladies, as we'll take a look at some first half shooting stats in this ball game. For the game, Central 5 of 32. They've only hit 5 field goals. They have 13 points outside of that. 1 of 7 from the arc, 13 of 15 from the free throw line. So again, 5 makes of 32, and 4 of those makes came in the first quarter. Central was only 1 of 17 shooting in the second quarter. Yikes, I didn't realize that. They're 1 of 7, like I said, from the arc, 13 of 15 from the free throw line to help kind of salvage this, if you can call it that, only down by 22 at the half. Western Nebraska would hit 8 more and 1 less shot attempt, 13 of 31, 42%. They are 7 of 13 from three-point land, shooting very well at 54%. They, too, are 13 of 15 from the free throw line. Both teams shooting 13 of 15 from the free throw line as well. Central with 12 first-half turnovers. Western Nebraska had 9. And unofficially in the rebounding, I have Western Nebraska out-rebounding Central at 23-22. So I am looking through the results of the cross-country championships. I see Luke Crosley finishing at 92nd place today. As I continue to look down the list, Gabe Villalobos was 140th, Christian Corona 154th. And I'm looking for Jaden Yates to see where the C-Dub runner is. He wanted to be top 40 to be All-American, and he placed 71st today with a 27:02 his run today. Jaden Yates leading the way for Central as he would finish 71st overall in the National Cross Country Championships that are held in Richmond, Virginia today. And the women's side of the equation, gonna scroll and look and see where Jessica White and Scarlett Sizemore would finish. Jessica White, she is a Lander, Wyoming product. She would finish 89th in the country out of 157. Scarlett Sizemore was 125th. So 89th and 125 for Jessica White and Scarlett Sizemore of the CWC ladies. They were running today at the Cross Country National Championships in Richmond, Virginia. One other item will be the fact that the CWC women, ranked 11th in the final poll in the country, will be headed to the national championships. They will play on Thursday. They will take on Missouri State West Plains. They'll be a 12 seed. Missouri State West Plains a 5 seed. That game will be 2 o'clock Mountain Time from the Hutchinson, Kansas Sports Arena. And the first ever trip of the CWC ladies going on to the national championships. First time in history that they are doing that. CWC basketball will be back at home on Tuesday, the 23rd of November, when Colorado Northwestern will come for a men's and women's doubleheader at 5:30 and 7:30 on Tuesday the 23rd. In the interim, CWC will be going to Rock Springs this weekend, where they will be taking on a couple of teams, Utah State Eastern and I believe it's Southern Nevada, who they will be playing. And I'm going to go look here real quick just to make sure. Up next, Southern Nevada. Yes, so Utah State Eastern and Southern Nevada, the two opponents this upcoming weekend, a week from this week, where they go to Rock Springs at Western Wyoming, and then back home again on Tuesday, the 23rd, when they take on Colorado Northwestern at home right before the Thanksgiving break. We are at the break, and it is 46-24 Western Nebraska out in front. We'll come back. It will be Central basketball when we begin the second half. This is Rustler basketball on the Pepsi scoreboard, down 22 at the break. Central basketball to begin the third quarter. They trail 46-24 on the Pepsi scoreboard. Terrazas, Motisi, Boyd, Knapp, and Almeria, the five dressed in gray with orange numbers and black trim for the CWC ladies. And they're taking on the 14th ranked team in the country. Chad Gibney's Western Nebraska Cougars will be dressed in their yellers with blue numbers and white trim. Western across their front, Western Nebraska across their front. Douglas, Brown, also Henry, Fields, and Cook, the five that will start up 22 Western Nebraska as we begin the second half.
In fact, some of their players so short as it says Western on top of the number, Nebraska in the bottom. Some of the Nebraskas are buried in the shorts.
Yeah, tucked in. Referee had the entire break to talk over something, and I think it was a possession arrow as he's switching the coin in his pocket as they do to indicate change of possessions, but they're going to give it to Central. Boyd hands it to Terrazas. Alex into the paint, lives. She'll spin, turn for 8, missed it. Fields another rebound. Underneath, wide open, Cook banks it and misses it. Got her own rebound, puts it back up and in. Pad the stats a little.
But didn't pad the assist for the other gal, however.
No, swiped an assist away for sure. 24-point advantage now. And that 24 has been the largest. No, 25 has been the largest margin of the game. There's a turnover by Central as the ball just squirts away. Picked up by the Cougars. Douglas's blue line pass got knocked away, but Henry ran it back down. That might have been a travel. Driving with it and knocked to the floor is going to be Peyton Fields. Motisi will pick up her second personal foul.
I think on that possession, you maybe had 4 calls you could have made through that, I think.
Going to the line will be Peyton Fields. 6.6 rebounds for Peyton. Peyton out of that old West Texas town of El Paso, Pebble Hills High School.
Did not get Gasser, but my dad did once upon a time.
Free throw on the way, good. 7 points now for Peyton. Back to that game-high 25-point advantage. Have them doubled up +1 now +2. 9 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Boyd back to Knapp. Livia D'd up by Brown, way out by the volleyball 10-foot line to Boyd now. Chevelle hands it back to Terrazas. Alex goes away from the pick, bounces it to Motisi, steps for about an 8-footer, and she'll knock it down. Cuts the lead to 24 on her 6th point of the ball game.
Nicely done. I think they played it pretty well defensively too, really.
Douglas hooks it back, 3-pointer on the way. Snapping that one down is Shantae Henry. That is her 3rd triple of the night. She's got 9 points. 27-point lead comes at the 8:15 mark of the third quarter. Terrazas off glass running down the left side of the lane is good. Quickly back in and down the court and throwing it away is Western Nebraska. Liv's going to pick it up in the corner. Here comes Knapp. Gives up the dribble.
They had a 5-on-4. Weren't sure who was the person that didn't have somebody guarding them.
Boyd runs around. Boy, falling down was Brown, and we're going to get a foul, I think, as Boyd threw it away. Going to get an insult to injury and get the foul on top of that. Third personal foul on Chevelle Boyd. She's D'd up on Alasia Douglas. Runs around the pick. Quick hands on Boyd. Might dangerously close to picking up a foul as there's a steal by Motisi. She'll outrun Douglas to the rack and score it. Good run by Motisi. 8 points now for Lexi with her 9 rebounds. Henry Running down, left hand, good. She created that herself, did Henry.
She might have got a whack for her.
Ran the arc and then got knocked on her keister at the end of the play, but scored it. 6:55 left. Liv Knapp for three. Good on the left side. OTC picking up the rebound.
Really a back and forth, up and down game right now.
More crowd trickling in for the men's game. Motisi pump fakes the three, back out to Knapp. Gets a couple of picks, hesitates, takes it to the racks. Gonna go to the line as Isabel Cook will be the fouler.
A little bit of a delay at the end there helped her get fouled as she was going like full bore, then backed it up a bit and then was fouled from behind because of that.
12 points for Knapp. 7 of it from the line. She is 8 for 8 with that make. Second good. Cuts it to 20 and substitutions. Panam and Perot back into the Cougar lineup. Brown and Fields out. Liv Knapp 14 points. Terrazas has 11, Motisi has 8 to lead the Central scoring. And then is that an offensive foul? Boyd is hobbling out of there. They're gonna, where are they gonna go with the foul?
So Panam is also hobbling.
Right, they're gonna go on Boyd. So that's 4 on Chevelle Boyd, and Chad Gibney wants a timeout for Western Nebraska. Will take it with him. 6:14 left, Boyd still down. And then we'll have a timeout. So we'll stop and play for the injured player and a timeout. We'll return after this. 6:14 left in the third on the Pepsi scoreboard. 55-35 Western Nebraska out in front. We'll be back. While we were in the break, a miss and a rebound by Central, and then a miss and a rebound by Western Nebraska. And then a turnover on the Cougars. Will give it back. They've got 12 turnovers now to the Cougars as Knapp stops for 15, let it fly and bury it there within 18. Closest they've been in a while.
And Douglas hasn't really jumped out at us in this game either, for that matter.
Long pass up ahead, Cook, and she will score. She has been in quasi
foul trouble, yes.
Foul trouble, but yeah, 6 points for Douglas.
What's a quasi?
Sort of. Sort of foul trouble. Terrazas almost throws it away.
I think they've seen that play before.
Yeah, I think they got bailed out essentially as Henry's going to get called for the foul, as Central had pretty much thrown that ball away. Motisi a little ginger as Adam Simon in the athletic training department looking at Chevelle Boyd in the top right-hand corner of the gym as you look at it on rustlerathletics.com and channel 189 on Spectrum. Not sure where that ball was going,
but
that
was the give and went.
That one turned over, and maybe just as well as Central had kind of turned it over before the foul had really hit anyway, as Shantae Henry got called for her third foul. And then Western Nebraska will turn it right back over.
They come in pairs.
Yes, they do, kind of like service errors, right? And there's another foul on Western Nebraska. This one will be on Perot trying to get through a pick. And Perot will pick up her second. And now a timeout, a media variety. We'll stop with them. 57-37. Central has outscored Western 13-11 in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter, but still trail by 20. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Rustler basketball.
The media still gets called, even if they've called.
Inside of 5 minutes left to play. They show Central with 4 timeouts, Western with 1, so I'm not sure. I mean, excuse me, with 5. So I think they gave that immediate timeout variety. So,
And the timeout we thought might have been called would have been called by the other team.
Right. Terrazas will trigger it inbound. She'll find Liv Knapp. Terrazas penetrating in traffic, high off glass, and she'll get fouled as coming in was Cook. Will they go with Cook, though? They do. That is her third. Fourth team foul. And Terrazas to the line to shoot free throws. Alex, by the way, perfect on the season, stays that way. 12 points for Terrazas. Again, Liv Knapp with 16, following up a 16-point performance yesterday as well. Second one, Alex, is good. It's an 18-point game. That's as close as Central has been. As I mentioned, it got pushed to 27. Much like yesterday's lead at one point, the biggest was 27. And Central battling back. You don't want to dig that hole, though, too often. Perot, bounce it underneath. Smith got free of Almeria, and she'll score. Nice job by Rashawn.
That pinned the defender behind her, just spun, and there it was.
Good play from behind, and saving it is Perot. Central with a turnover. Good job trailing that play was Henry. 3 is Brown. That one's airballed, and then Bolden's out of bounds when she tries to grab it as her foot just got out there.
You can't go back in time, but if you could, you would have left that one alone because it would have been CWC basketball.
Instincts to go after it. I don't want to speculate anything, but not great news on Chevelle Boyd. She has 4 fouls, but not looking like she's going to come back in anytime soon. As nice take to the rack by Fields, and she'll miss, but get her own rebound and be fouled. That will send Fields to the line. First of which rattles in and drops. 9 points for Fields, back to a 21-point advantage. Douglas will check in, as will Callista New, after this free throw by Peyton Fields. Men's game scheduled to start at 5. Not going to happen, as that second free throw is good. Douglas back in for the Cougars as Henry out. Callista New checking in for Alex Terrazas, and they'll need to go press breaker. Bolden gives it back to Knapp. She's got Brown on her defensively as she will bring it across the timeline. 4 minutes left to play in the third. Good handles by Knapp as she will almost have it stolen away by Douglas, but turn around and drop in a 15-footer. And that is her 18th point of the game for Liv Knapp. She has 18 of the 41. Knapp going for the pick. Brown's going to run around her, and Callista New is going to foul her. As Liv Knapp, the free safety, came up for the pick and missed it. And Amani Brown goes to the rack and going to be fouled by Callista New. And Brown will go to the line. Amani Brown, free throw, good. 18 of 20 from the free throw line. Western Nebraska Central shooting equally as well. 17 of 19 from the arc, 17 of their 41. We saw Lamar's men score 35 at the line yesterday as Amani Brown gets both. 35 of their 100 came from the charity stripe. Back to a 22-point Western Nebraska lead. Knapp bouncing it to nobody in particular. Stolen away by Douglas. Douglas going to go the distance and score it with about a 8-foot-high dribble. She's controlled it, and she's got 8 points.
That's that Division I ability there, perhaps we just saw.
Otisi from 15 misses. Smith the rebound. .24-point game. Baseline three, no good. Almeria with a rebound way out at the top of the arc.
Those rainbow threes we were seeing yesterday in the men's game.
Bolden fouled. Cutting in front of her, Cheyenne Perot, who I have for 3 personal fouls, and that is the case. And that puts Central at the line for the remaining 2:51 of the third quarter. And here comes Garcia back in. Also coming back in is Henry. Brown will sit. Perot will sit. Mimi Bolden to the free throw line. Cannot get her first point of the ball game. Central now 17 of 20 from the free throw line. She'll get the second one. No, it falls off as well. And Peyton Fields comes away with a rebound. 10 points, 8 rebounds for Fields. Knapp D'ing up on Douglas. Hands it out to Henry. Garcia down the lane. Right-hand side, good off glass and one. Almeria and New in the zip code, and it's going to be on Callista New. Third personal on Callista. And the three-point play by Garcia coming up as it's back out to a 26-point lead. Callista will check out with her third personal foul. And it's Ivana Bajic has checked back into the contest for Central. Three-point play is good by Garcia, and they have matched the largest lead of the game at 27.
They've matched a few times, haven't they?
Central had got it to 18. And that was at 55-37. They've been outscored 13-4 since then. Bajic out to Motisi, now up top to Knapp. 9 to shoot. Garcia really overplaying Knapp. She'll step into the 17-footer, 4 on the shot clock, and that's 20 by Liv. Underneath, foul called on Central. Bajic knocking Henry to the floor. Ivana, her first personal foul. Henry back to the line.
See Hutchison back into the ballgame for Riverton.
Anna Hutchison
CWC.
back in for
of Riverton.
Bajic
for CWC.
From Riverton, in fact. Men's game against NJC next. Free throw knocked it down. Boy, they are shooting the lights out from the free throw line. Typically 73%. Right now 91%, and they have shot 23 of them. And the announcer jinx does not take effect. Now 92%, 22 of 24, and back out to a 27-point lead. Bolden working on Douglas, crosses her up, takes it to the right side corner. Douglas knocked it away. Bolden gets it back, uses one dribble, tries to go back door. Great hands though by Sarkodia Dew. Steals it. Douglas fouled down the right side. That was a good look at the top up there, but better play defensively by Sarkodia Dew.
And they've seen the back door a few times.
Douglas going to go to the line on the foul on Bolden. That'll be number 1 on Mimi. And Alasia Douglas to the free throw line. Perfect free throws coming into this game. She is now 18 of 18 on the season. Is Alasia Douglas, again bound for Clemson, the coach tells me next year. Lefty is good. 29-point lead now.
Oh, bad selling point when you're out there recruiting trail saying, well, we sent a girl off to Clemson last year from this program.
Exactly. And another one to D2 Western Colorado as she made that choice in June of this past summer. And Garcia's going to foul Bolden in the backcourt. Nope, going to foul Knapp in the backcourt. That'll be number 1 on Garcia, by the way. And typically Western Nebraska sends kids to a lot of places pretty much every year at the top of Region 9 in just about every category. Soccer might have been the exception this year as Liv Knapp makes the first. But typically you see Western Nebraska at the top of the standings in just about everything they do. Second free throw by Knapp is good. 22 for Liv, down by 27 though.
You were just there. What did you think of their facilities?
Shot underneath on a rebound by Garcia. Cougar Palace, nice. It's got seating all the way around. It's a
round facility. I noticed.
It's older, but it's a very nice venue, and especially when you get the hometown crowd in there, very tough place to play. Obviously, you're playing a pretty darn good opponent every time, but the hometown atmosphere with all of the sports and the athletes they have and the student body shows up.
And the history they've had as well.
Yeah, definitely in a pretty intimidating atmosphere, but yeah, very nice.
Was there a press box? I know you did the volleyball game courtside, but was there a press box there as well?
No. They had a little press area, I guess, where a camera was at the top, but for the most part it was all kind of padded.
So for basketball, it would probably be courtside as well then for broadcast, eh?
Yes, yep. Had it kind of on both sides of the gymnasium. Of course, it was set up for volleyball, but yeah, and I think Mark Ryan and company there, they were great hosts last week at the regional volleyball tournament as that shot no good. Hutchison, the rebound. Knapp, left side, left it short. Garcia comes away with a rebound. Closing minute of the third quarter. Western Nebraska put up 32 in the first as that ball is tipped out of there, and a foul is going to be called. Almeria is going to get the rebound. The foul over the back is going to be called on Cook, no, it's not. It's going to be called on Sarkodia Dew, and that'll be her first. Almeria to the line. Yep, Chuck Schwartz, the voice of the Western Nebraska Cougars. He went with their men's team, I believe, to Seward this weekend. He was tremendous hospitality host last week as well. Thank him, as well as Mark Ryan and the athletic director there at Western Nebraska also. Almeria gets both. Again, Western Nebraska scored 32 in the first. They've got 28 here in the third. They've extended their lead to 27. Garcia. And she's not going to get it to go, but a rebound by Fowler is going to give the tie up, and will get the ball back to Western Nebraska. Line them up 4 across. Shot from 3 misses everything, and would have been a great opportunity, but they just couldn't make the pass to make the shot. Passer makes the shooter, and that one was not close. No fouls, Coach Gibney asking for, is Knapp in the backcourt, guarded by Garcia. Boy, she's got to be exhausted, does Liv. She's primary ball handler and primary scorer for this team here today for sure. Underneath, Hutchison, boy, you could hear the slap from here on the hoop mic.
But was it from an opponent that she had run into, perhaps?
Yeah, they called nothing of the sorts. They don't even call that it's Central basketball. They'll give it away. 20 turnovers on Central now. 10 seconds left, Garcia. Throws it away, 4 seconds left. 14 turnovers on the visitors.
That was a good idea, not good practice.
Liv at 18 last night to lead Central scoring. She has 22 today as she keeps adding to her career total, her career high. Knapp from half court. Boy, nothing called on that play either as Knapp got knocked to the floor at the buzzer by Fowler.
I think she perhaps was leaning so much that perhaps was the impetus to go to the floor, though, to launch it from that point of the court.
Referee can also see the score from where he was at as well.
But they've been calling a lot of fouls in this third quarter, though.
74-47, Central down as we head to the fourth and final 10 minutes. We'll be back after this. This is Rustler basketball from 88-1. Ten minutes left to play in this one. It's 74-47. Western Nebraska out in front of the CWC ladies. Terrazas, Almeria, Motisi, Knapp, and Markovich into the basketball game, and Central almost turns it over on the first possession of the second half. You talked about fouls being shot in the, fouls being called. Central 7 of 12 from the line. Western Nebraska, Central 8 of 10. Western Nebraska 13 of 13. Motisi scoring for Central. Panam, 15-footer, no good. Got her own rebound, battles it back up. That's no good, and Knapp comes away with a rebound. Liv, new career high 22, make it 25, no, but Motisi will pull down her 12th rebound of the game, and then a ball is loose and taken away by Western Nebraska. 21 turnovers by Central. Underneath, nice pass, nice catch, nice bucket by Cook. What great pass from up top and a good glove.
Even nicer, the person catching the pass was basically able to shield the defender away from the ball and the basket both.
Another quick timeout called by CWC with 8:52 left. Once again, a congratulations to our CWC cross-country team as they closed out their season today. Jaden Yates finishing 71st. I know he was hoping for a top 40 finish, but quick field today out of 150-some runners. He finishes in the upper half of that.
Did we have enough? We did not have enough for a team score, did we?
No, did not, as Cameron Bruff didn't make the trip because of a stress fracture. But Jaden Yates, Luke Crosley, Gabe Villalobos, and Christian Corona, along with Cameron Bruff, our CWC cross-country team.
You know what else? They also interviewed very well when we've had them on the our show on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I think pretty much by and large everybody we've had on that Rustler Sports Report on Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 9 o'clock on the CWC Athletics Facebook page has done very well.
Other than us.
There is that. Jackson, Morris, and Wyatt Barichka have done a great job stepping in as co-hosts, and I'm going to turn that show over to him completely this whole next week. Tuesday is Wyatt's day. I'll be gone Thursday and the following Tuesday, so not at the mic. And then it'll be Thanksgiving break. We will not have a show on Thanksgiving, by the way, unless you want to come in with them.
The turkey's looking hot from the outside.
Motisi punches it back out of bounds and turns it over out of the timeout. It's not going to make your head coach real happy when you call a timeout and then the next thing that happens is...
And we've addressed that in volleyball through the season, how the timeout means you want to get a point immediately.
Smith will get the miss by Douglas and score it. 29-point lead. Central has it knocked out of their hands on the baseline. It will stay C-Dub ball. 8.5 left on the fourth quarter Pepsi scoreboard. Central scored 23 points in that third quarter. Motisi turnaround 8, good. Double-double for Lexi, 12 points, 12 rebounds, in fact. Douglas, the distance laid up and in on the other side. And that's her offense. She is a left-hander, and she went that left side and scored it pretty easily.
Which is interesting. Motisi went to the left side, but she's right-handed. On her, turnaround just seconds ago.
Liv Knapp. Oh, nice defense by Panam. They will call the jump ball, and Panam will get the turnover out of it. That was pretty good defense by Ashley. Glommed on and hung on to it. Douglas. Liv trips on the logo in the mid-court circle. Pass down low to Smith. She uses good body position to get free and knock another one down. She has 6 points, does Rashawn Smith, off the bench. Matter of fact, 32 points off the bench today for the visitors. And by my calculations, just 2 points off the bench. That coming from Anna Hutchison for CWC. The other 49 out of the 5 starters, and they'll turn it over again as Terrazas lost the handle on a bad pass. Picked up by Brown. Douglas wide open, left side corner. Can't knock down the triple. Knapp had position. Kind of got over the back by Perot a bit. They'll call it out of bounds off of Central.
Interesting. Smith, who doesn't play a lot, goes out of the ballgame after getting kind of a mini hot streak going there.
Yeah, 4 points, all of her points in the second half. Cook scoots it back, baseline Perot, 15, no good. And a foul is going to be whistled. It's going to be on Motisi. Lexi will pick up her third personal. Rebound by Cook. (82-51). Perot scoots it out to Brown. Liv gets in her face. Brown rises for 10. Got it. Baseline jumper. 17 points, Amani Brown.
And the lead is becoming the biggest each time they score lately here.
33 now, and that ball got tipped by Panam in out of the way of Bayich and out of bounds. It stays Central basketball. Perot comes out. Henry back in. Terrazas on Brown defensively. Hands it back to Knapp. Liv again, 22 points, maybe 25. Will they give her? Nope, just a 2. Is that one deep? Little step backer on top of it. Shot no good. Motisi will get another rebound. 13 rebounds to go along with 12 points. That one, no doubt a 3, as it's way deep Ball rebounded out by the midcourt stripe by Ivana Beach. 6 minutes left to play in the contest. Chevelle Boyd not returning after getting her 4th foul and getting injured. Knapp from 17 at the top ends up on her keister, and then Motisi battling with Douglas for the rebound is going to get called for the foul. Four personals on Alexis Motisi. Douglas still laboring a little bit. She's playing with a mask on. I do not remember seeing her play with that mask on yesterday, but to be 100% honest, I was in the middle of putting out other fires when that game was going on, and for our broadcast, as Douglas fouled and will go to the line now as Beach looking back at the official, asking the violation. That'll be her 2nd personal. Douglas back to the line. She has 12. Perfect 4 for 4 from the line. 5 for 5 makes her 20 of 20 on the season at 100% free throw shooting. Second one, good as well. 33-point advantage for Western Nebraska. And that has been the biggest a couple of different times, 84-51 and now 86-53. Knapp gets knocked to the floor, and the end result, I think, getting the whistle there as Brown gets called for the foul. That'll be her 1st personal. And first team foul of the quarter, by the way.
And that deal where if she weren't to have gone down, I don't think there was a call to be made.
More crowd trickling in. The men's game against NJC coming your way at the conclusion of the broadcast here. We'll also have a Buckle Up for Life Wyoming postgame show, and I think a travel's coming, and it is, as Beach went to the low block and traveled. 25 on the turnover margin now for the turnover tracker for Central. 14 by Western Nebraska. That'll be something Coach Gibney will probably address with his team, as I don't think he'll be, well, maybe not too concerned when you're still up 33 with 14 turnovers. Nice dish, Brown to Cook, lay it up and in. Boy, Amani Brown with a nice dime on that one.
Yeah, on top of that, she almost like she's going to pass to somebody on the other side even, or take the shot. So she goes to the other side for the easy layup.
Knapp throws it to Beach. She'll hoist a long 3. Garcia will come away with the rebound. Central just 12 3-pointers today after shooting 33 yesterday, and a turnover on the...
And that could have been a point of emphasis as well.
Right. Yeah, she did mention in the postgame show as Knapp will fire another 3. Garcia will rebound another 3.
I'm feeling Knapp has shot the majority of those 3s.
I don't do the individuals on it, as that's just too darn tough for a feeble mind.
Add them up there, how many 3s she's made. That would be
a feeble mind of mine. Well, that's... She has made 1.
Actually, maybe just traveled there, but no call.
She has made 1, the first one of the second half. Terrazas on the 3-point line, misses everything.
Knapp has only made 1 3?
Yes, hits the backboard, basically. And there's Brown, Motisi. Be the easiest rebound she's got.
We're kind of playing out the string right now with 4 minutes to go here in the ball game.
Yeah, 4 new Cougs set to check in. Anna Hutchison ready to send in for Central. Terrazas has it stripped, taken away by Fields. Yeah, this one just coming down the stretch, and a layup missed. That should be Central basketball, as Cook appeared to be over the back, nothing called, and we'll get a timeout. Steve Barlow saying media timeout. So we'll take it with them and come back and wrap up the final 3:31 of this one. 88-53, 14th ranked Western Nebraska leading Central. We'll be back in a moment on 88-1. 3:31 remaining in the fourth quarter on the Pepsi scoreboard. Western Nebraska will go 3-0. Central, unfortunately, to 1-4 after going 0-2 on their home court against Lamar yesterday, falling by 10, and now down 35 to the Cougars.
This game is weird because yesterday they had the 27-point lead, and it shrunk here, the 27-point lead, and it expanded, which is the difference between the two teams.
The other direction for sure. Markovic to Motisi, left side Bayich. Taken away, Garcia with a turnover. She'll go the distance, lay it up and in. Yada Garcia has 11 now, and the lead is 37. 90-53, two big wins for Western Nebraska out of the Rustler Classic. Scored 107 yesterday. Baseline Hutchison, Knapp, 15-foot, rolls out. Smith the rebound.
Smith taking advantage of her few minutes in this contest.
Yeah, she's done well. Fowler for three. That'll bring the house down for Western Nebraska. Brianna Fowler getting into the party. She has a trifecta.
And the weird thing, I thought she probably should have passed it to Smith underneath, who was wide open as well, but as it turns out, they get the three instead of the two.
9 3-pointers. And you asked about that three by Knapp, by the way, as Bayich will fire a three. No good. Hutchison with a rebound. She'll go to the rack, and she'll be fouled. Central only has 2 makes, 2 of 14. Terrazas hit one in the first quarter. Knapp hit one in the third quarter. 2 of 14 from the arc. And Anna Hutchison, the freshman from Riverton, going to the line. Made a pair in that second quarter. I've got her for 4 rebounds and 2 points, and can't get that free throw, unfortunately. 40-point differential. This was an 18-point differential as Anna hits the free throw at 55-37. Then it just kind of ballooned, I guess, at that point. As Hutchison, 3 points. Nebratu outside three by Sarkodia Douche. Her three is no good, and Smith, the rebound, is going to be fouled.
Interesting, they play a lot of players, and the system really doesn't seem to change at all when they bring the bench into the contest.
Yeah, which is possibly why you see a 14 in front of their name in the rankings. It's been them and Casper the last couple of years. Of course, Otero last year won it, as that shot by Mebratu misses, and Almeria the rebound. North will host this year in the women's. South will host the men. Garcia knocks it away from Markovic. Natalia Markovic, number 24, 5'10" freshman from Serbia. Inbounds to Bolden. 90 seconds left to play in this one. Coming up between games, we'll hit some news. We've also got a pregame interview with Brad Schmidt. Markovic, right side runner, good with a layup over the top of Garcia. Markovic's first basket of the game. Mebratu, left hand on the right side, no good. Hutchison, the rebound. Here comes Central. 5 rebounds for Anna today off the bench. Almeria traveled with it. They'll let it go, and she missed it anyway. Wow. Smith with the rebound. Less than a minute to go. Fowler. No look to Smith. Underneath to Garcia to Smith, and she'll score. 8 points for Rashawn Smith. 95-56. Knapp getting her first breather of the game here at the end after pretty much doing everything that she could. They're going to throw that one away and approach the 30 turnover mark with 28. Mebratu missed it. Bolden gets the rebound.
I think she thought she was out of bounds.
Yeah, I think the referees.
Maybe twice.
The referees just like, hey, let's finish this thing here. 3, no good. Sarkodie Adu the rebound. And this is where this one is going to end. Fowler dribbling out the string of the final 5 seconds. And Western Nebraska to 3-0 as they get 5 points shy of the century mark tonight after scoring 107 yesterday. 14th ranked Western Nebraska Cougars 95. Your Central Wyoming Rustlers 56th. Western Nebraska will go to 3-0. Central will go, unfortunately, to 1-4 and have lost 3 straight now. And again, the final count in this one going 95-56, your final score. Your Buckle Up for Life Wyoming postgame show coming up, brought to you by Wydot. You've been listening to Rustler Basketball. This is 88.1 KCWC. This is your Wydot postgame show, reminding you to buckle up each and every time. The seatbelt, your most effective device in saving your life. Reminder from Wydot. Final score in this one here today was Western Nebraska 95-56 over your CWC ladies. Final scoring numbers for Central, new career high for Liv Knapp. She continues to keep scoring. 24 points for Liv, 4 rebounds for her as well. Alexis Motisi, 12 points, unofficially 14 rebounds as she continues a rebounding terror. Alex Terrazas, 13 points, 3 rebounds. Almeria had 4 rebounds. They each had 2. Terrazas had 3. Mimi Bolden had 2 as well. And just 5 points off the bench. Almeria had 2, and Hutchison had the 3 free throws. So Central not getting a whole lot of production out of the bench that came in.
Interesting, too, because you've been forced to use the bench quite a bit because of the one player that gets injured, you know, and that's, you know, with Boyd out, you know, you'd think that there'd be points to be had by somebody there. And obviously Hutchison doesn't play that position.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, she comes in, and Anna gets 3 points, 5 rebounds in the day. For the Cougars, they were led by Amani Brown, 17 points. She had a couple of threes, well, yeah, 2 of them early. 17 points, 2 rebounds. Douglas ended with a quiet 14 points tonight. 13 for Shanti Henry, 11 for Isabel Cook, 10 for Peyton Fields. So the starting 5 in double figures. They also got 41 points off their bench as well. Garcia had 11 points in the game. Smith had 8. That 41 points is not correct. I have to correct myself there. Must have had a wrong formula typed in, but nonetheless, the starting 5 all score in double figures for Coach Gibney. Peyton Fields, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Isabel Cook, 11 points, 8 rebounds in the ball game. 8 points for Rashawn Smith with about 5 rebounds in the game as well. Western Nebraska outscored Central 32-12 in the first quarter. Outscored them by 2 to take a 46-24 lead at half. Dumped in 28 in the third, 21 in the fourth, outscoring Central 28-23 in the third, outscored them 21-9 in the fourth. Central, unfortunately, 28 turnovers, 15 turnovers for Western Nebraska. Shooting numbers in this ball game for the game, Central 16 of 58. They would go 28%, 2 of 15 from the arc. Saving grace free throws, 22 of 27 for 82%. Western Nebraska would get 14 more shots than Central. They made 13 more than Central did. 29 of 72, 40% for the game. 9 of 21 from the arc is 43%, which is much better than the 28% average they came in after the last 2 games. Of course, 2 games, you divide everything by 2, your averages may not be that great at points. But they also shot the lights out from the free throw line. 28 of 30 from the line for Western Nebraska, 93% as they get the W here today by a final count of 95-56. That's going to wrap up our coverage of the ladies' game. Stay with us. We will come back with the men's game. You have one final thoughts?
I was thinking one thing we probably can mention now is last year when we played this team, we got beat by 80-plus points.
Right, 85.
So that would be 80-plus.
Not to beat a dead horse.
But, so, the improvement is better than what happened last year. So I know it's hard to say a feel-good story out of a 49-point loss, was it? It's, 49-point loss, but it's better than what happened last year, and the increments, are going to be, you got to get better step by step.
Right, yeah, and final count here today ending up at 95-56. And a final count of 39 on the differential there. Men's game is next. The men taking on NJC. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. We'll reset this web stream. If you're watching, you'll have to re-click on the Rustler Athletics and come back. If you're on TV, you'll never notice anything's different. We'll be back on the radio as well. We'll take a look at some news first, and then we will come back with an interview with our head coach, Brad Schmidt. This has been the YDOT Buckle Up for Life Wyoming post-game show. We'll be back after this with the men's game on 88.1.